Hi, everybody. Oh, I forgot how to start it. How did we start it?
Claire
No,
and
we were like Sacred Rebels with Clairvoyant and Erika. I did your thing. I'm sorry. You can
I don't
help.
know how the hell we're gonna do it. We
Yeah,
need
we
to actually
gotta.
just do the intro so that way when it comes in, we
Yeah,
can just.
we can like paste it up there instead of having to do it every time. Okay, but hello, everyone. Hello. We have had a couple weeks off. Erika is nice and refreshed and amazing, and I am a hot mess. So here we go.
Hey, now I don't think you're that big of a hot mess, but yes, I feel like there's not much to recap on since I've been gone. Like, I didn't even really keep track of a lot of things. Like, obviously, we had the full moon in Sagittarius, which is fitting for being on vacation. And I feel like it's weird. Like, a lot of people I know have also been like
Yeah,
doing vacation.
everyone on Facebook and stuff. Yeah, everybody was on vacation.
Yep. So, that's the thing. And I think you need a vacation now for sure.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Um, but I do know that like so over the last weekend, Pluto, in retrograde has now went back into Capricorn
Oh
officially. So
yeah.
no more Pluto in Aquarius. Uh it's gonna go back into Aquarius on January 21st of 2024.
Okay, so uh when did that happen?
So that happened over the weekend. To be exact, I think it was Friday. Let me look though,
Wow.
just to make sure.
That kind of makes a lot of sense. Capricorn energy has had that break, remember? And how I said like, hey, the Cancer with the Capricorn energy and Venus, like we had a chance to have such good juju for a while. And now
I
that Capricorn energy is back.
I think it's also cool, like Venus, went into Leo. That's another thing that has
Mm-hmm.
happened. And I did notice like so it made an exact opposition to Pluto while it was still in Aquarius. And like
Yeah.
literally if you look at the news, have you been keeping track of the
No,
news over the weekend?
no.
It's all aliens. Like
Whoa, really?
yeah, this whistleblower guy from the military has come out on all these news stations saying that it's confirmed, like he knows for a fact that the military has like all of these downed UFOs and actual alien bodies, like the shit that has been a conspiracy since like the 50s is now like yeah, that's actually true. And then apparently this like flying saucer went down in Vegas and like so these like this cop's like body cam like caught it coming down, and then someone else's doorbell cam like caught like the sound of it, and then like around the same time these people started calling in to 911 and like saying that there was aliens in their backyard. And so the cops were like believing it because everything was like happening in this synchronistic way where they're like holy shit, this is actually happening. So they were like looking for the aliens and looking for the UFO, and they never found anything supposedly.
Oh yeah, they found something. Oh my god!
Yeah, so I don't know. And by the way, yeah, so Pluto entered Capricorn on the 11th at 5 in the morning. So yesterday, is that yesterday?
Yep. Okay, so that Aquarius
After Saturday,
squeeze.
because like Saturday, 5 in the morning on Sunday. Yeah, so wow.
Okay, so that makes sense in my life. Um, so what does that look like now? So we have Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. I mean, we've been having this for the past 15 years, so we're pretty fucking used to it.
Well, okay, too, we there was a lot of talk about the Pluto return of the USA. And I
Yeah,
think that was like at 27 degrees. And that so this retrograde is gonna go back to like I
that
think
degree
27 degrees and then come back forward again.
and
So
go over it again.
yeah. So I feel like all the shit that's been going on where like we have been basically the crumbling or the destroying of these archaic
Picture. Yeah.
systems, that need to go is basically we're gonna get more of that. And I want to say it's probably gonna be even more intense now because it's the last shot.
Yeah,
It's that
and
last.
Saturn is in Pisces now.
That too. Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
Because now instead of like before where it was like that rebellious
Yeah.
killing off of the also think about Pisces and the finality of it. Pisces is the finality
Yep.
of everything that happens in Capricorn, right? Because everything starts in Capricorn, and then we kind of like built upon that with Saturn and Aquarius, and now we're really like tying the like this is the
The
end of
feeling.
that chapter.
Yeah. Now it's like we are different. Get on the same page. Our feelings are here. We're not back here anymore. It's
And then in
whoa.
January, when Pluto goes back into Aquarius, then I think it's going to be like, you know, like what you just said. And then it's going to be like whatever didn't fucking die, it's going to be rebelled against
Yep.
like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Canceled.
Yeah.
All right.
Whew.
Okay.
Okay. So also the moon is now in Aries, and so we are getting close to the new moon, which we'll talk about will happen on Saturday. So these last couple of signs that the moon is going to transit through is really like that also let us like letting go and purging these last few things that have happened in this entire season, so that way we can start over again. And I think that once the moon enters Taurus, that's going to be like even more of that tying up loose ends from like what we've been going through, you know, go like revisiting that Taurus energy shit again. But whatever. So Venus, yeah, Venus is now in Leo, and right now it's making a square to Jupiter in Taurus. Yep. So first of all, Venus and Leo, it's going to be here for a really long time because Venus is going to retrograde here. So
Till like October 9th, I think it is.
yeah. So, I mean, if we want to talk about that, like, first of all, like with Venus energy and
Wait, I
Leo
just said
energy,
October 9th. Yeah, that's right. Sorry. I had to,
I
my
think I
brain.
think you are
I
right.
am.
Yeah.
Yeah. July 22nd is when it goes retrograde, and then it comes out sometime in September, and then it finally will leave Leo in October.
Okay. Oof, and then it goes into Virgo.
Mm-hmm.
But Venus rules are the way that we relate to things in general, and it rules like value and just
Money.
basically the things that we find importance in, right? Like the things that we love, the things that capture our attention. And then Leo adds a lot of like flashy,
Mm-hmm.
flary
Fun.
energy to that, right? So I love Venus and Leo, but also I think that maybe the trips or like the downfalls of Venus and Leo, uh, I guess it's probably more egoic stuff than
Yes.
anything.
You're going to see a lot of pride. You're going to see a lot of, yeah, butt hurtness, I think, in this whole fucking transit. Is that the right word? Transit? When Venus is in Leo?
Yeah, transit. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Trying to be smart.
yeah, I think so. I think it's more like it's also it has a lot to do with attention, the things that we give our attention to or how much attention
Oh,
we're getting, right? Like so that's why I think sometimes with Leo energy in a more what is the word I'm looking for? Unevolved, in a more unevolved sense,
okay.
is like can be like does anything for attention, right? Like
Oh,
attention hungry,
seeking.
attention,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, attention seeking. There you go. Uh, but in a more evolved sense, it's like they get that attention through being creative and through being authentic and through being real, right? So it's like if you do those things first, then the attention that you get will also be real and authentic rather than than the unevolved way of like doing anything even if it isn't authentic just to get attention.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
with Venus being here, that has going to put that energy that I just said into importance when it comes to our relationships. And I don't mean just romantic ones like friendships, family, whatever, because if we're only getting attention from our friends, our family, our significant others, from these fake things that we're doing to get their attention, you know, then you're going to be kind of getting hit with that.
I feel it coming.
Yeah, that's wild.
Hmm. And that's going to be the same with jobs. It's going to be the same with how you make money. And like, if you are like, okay, this just popped into my head and I'm going to shit it out. I don't know if it means anything. Um, if you are quiet quitting and you have a moral problem with it, and that's what's going to be hitting you, like your authenticity, your pride, are you going to allow yourself to continue to barely work or do really nothing at a soul sucking job or blah blah blah, whatever? You're going to want to be looking for fun, be looking for how to get hopefully the better attention.
Ooh. And also, I love that. First of all, I love that you took it down that road because it is making that square to Jupiter, which is in Taurus, which adds even more emphasis to how we build
Value.
stability and make
Mm-hmm.
money and shit like that. Which means, like what you just said, like when you're doing things in an authentic way to make money, to attract money, to manifest money, you're gonna have more luck, right? You're gonna have more luck
Yeah.
and expansion, especially right now.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
but also too, like damn it, I think I just lost it. I think that also goes with our relationships though too. Like we're gonna find more luck and abundance with the relationships that authentically fit us, and we're gonna find more obstacles and pitfalls with the relationships that don't authentically fit us.
Okay.
And it's also man, I feel like I still lost what I was gonna say. So whatever, maybe it'll come back to me.
Mm-hmm.
The only other thing about today or the past or whatever is that Mercury is also now in Gemini. So I feel like I can't feel that yet. I'm still tripping all over my words, but whatever. But yeah, Mercury is now in Gemini. And so things are really speeding up when it comes to our thoughts and the way that we communicate. It can feel more streamlined at this point.
Or overwhelming.
I feel like the thoughts can be overwhelming, but the
Yeah.
speaking can be more streamlined.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Speaking
Maybe
can be
and
fine.
maybe no, maybe that's actually the tip or whatever for this transit though, is that you can get really overwhelmed if you stay stuck in your head right now. So maybe it is about
Woo!
streamlining the shit out of you,
Shit
right?
it out. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, and it will be a good time to do that because your thoughts, I mean, it's in its home sign. You're going to be able to really speak what you need to speak right now. Oh, and then with all the ego stuff and the value and but yeah, this is all from the heart.
And
And
we're
we're
back into
heading
that
into Cancer
mutable.
season. Woo!
And it's back into that mutable shit with Mercury too. So this is also a finality chapter of the things that have been needed to say over a while, over Mercury retrograde, over everything, right? So this is like kind of that moment where you get to make sense of it all and say what you actually like. You know how when Mercury's in retrograde, the reason why you're not supposed to do a lot of things is because you're kind of confused. You're like, think like maybe you had thought one thing and then all of a sudden you think this other thing while Mercury's in retrograde and you're like, oh, everything's different now and I feel completely different. But then Mercury comes out of retrograde and you're like, that was a weird little blip. Like I'm back to what I set my intention for in a cardinal space, right? But
Mhm.
then now I think that however you see things right now are pretty fucking clear, you know? So yeah, talk about it.
Ooh, yeah. Because remember, the last time we were doing this, it was all about authenticity, all about like how to be your authentic self and very real, real, real. And we're getting this drilled into us with so many different aspects. And now it's like, okay, you might be walking the walk. It's time to talk the talk. It's time to click the mind with it. And then probably when Cancer comes is when, well, Leo and Venus too, that's the heart. That's heart. We're
Dude,
clicking the heart in
also
there too.
Also, yeah, when you just made me think too, back to that authentic energy. Like, let's say that you need to get something off your chest, and so you should be able, the people who are authentically aligned with you, you should be able to get in front of them and do that, right? Like, streamline, like, this is what's on my head, blah, 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 and get it out. If you find yourself doing that and then you keep thinking in your head like, oh, I should rephrase the way I say that, or I should leave that out, or how will this make them feel, or that kind of stuff, that's kind of your little keys of like, oh shit, I am not able to be my most authentic self around this
Perfect.
person. Why? You know, like, let's
Good.
reassess that.
Oh, that was good. Yeah. All right. Next.
Okay, so Tuesday, the moon's gonna enter Taurus. And honestly, I'm just gonna combine Tuesday and Wednesday together, right? Because the moon,
Okay.
that's pretty much all that's going to be going on. And I think that that's a good thing, because that's going to be kind of like our intro to that dark moon phase before it goes into Gemini. So this is really about like revisiting those Taurus themes and putting some finality to that, so you can kind of like purge and let go of these last minute things before you reset your intentions. And these things are going to be geared towards like what we've already talked about, of course, like what we place value on, how we earn money, how we create stability. But also with the planets that are there, it's also going to be about like where we see ourselves going in the future. What are the long term, what is the long term vision? And also like with Uranus there, it's like, how well can we adapt, how well do we flow with change, how well, because that's what I love so much about Uranus and Taurus, is that word change, because Uranus wants to change things and Taurus wants to sustain things, but they really can go well together, because you can sustain something far better if you're able to adapt and flow with changes, right? Like, as
Yes.
long as your long-term vision is there, then all the shit that comes up in between point A and point B is just evolving you to get to that same point. Maybe it's just in a different way. It's just on a different path, you know? But you're still getting, and that's why these long-term visions need to be like, I'm trying to think of an example. Like, rather than saying like my long-term vision is to make 60K a year, it would be like, no, my long-term vision is to be financially secure and stable. You know, so then you're like, that my long-term vision is still there, but I'm not so set on this specific of making this much money, if that makes sense at all.
Okay.
That's how
Yeah.
I see it anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
Because then it's like, you know, that the long-term goal, whatever you are making a goal on, ask like, so like if it's 60K a year and you ask yourself, well, why is that my goal? Well, because I want to be financially secure and stable, right? No, then that's really the goal. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't limit yourself, is what you're saying
Right.
with that.
Well,
Yeah.
and think that you have it all figured out of how you're
Yeah.
going to get there, what that's going to look like.
Oh, exactly. Yes.
Which I
Okay.
think
And then,
takes a lot of weight off of me, because there's so much circulating out there in the manifestation game about how you have to get so specific and shit,
yeah.
which I think to a certain extent is okay for certain people, but I definitely don't think that's a one size fits all, right? Because for
So,
me, I need to be more general, because I feel like if I said something specific and it doesn't specifically happen that way, then that's going to fuck up my vibe, right? Like, I think that it needs to be more generalized for me. Like, I don't really care how I get there as long as I get there,
okay.
or what it looks like, right?
So this is we're thinking about this and we're figuring out the long game. Like for like let me think. Um I guess I'm just gonna think about being here in Prague, because I know like down the road whenever I retire or whatever, like I want to end up in like Washington or something, but I can't like see that or at all. So I have to, I think this is the Taurus in me. I have to be like, okay, this is something that I can see, feel, touch already. This is what I have. And now I want it to be like you said, okay, I want to be financially stable, happy, good, successful farm, good, successful business here, like all like everything that it could possibly be, and think about like all of the could be's or whatever. And then that's your long game. But then when we come to the new moon, that's when you can do the specifics.
Okay, yes.
Okay,
Yes,
thank God.
thank you for putting it that way too, because what you also said was perfect for, remember what I talked about with Taurus, like making form, like taking all the things that you have and learning how to rearrange them in a
Yes.
way that shows something beautiful. Like that's exactly what you just said. You're like, I'm taking all of my resources,
Beef.
everything I already have.
I miss beef.
People,
While Erika was gone, I watched Beef the whole time, everybody.
oh,
So
I see
that's
it.
what just happened. Yeah, I see his little head. Oh, okay. It's okay.
So
Sorry.
I don't know where I was at.
I know, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Oh yeah, yeah, no, I got it. So yeah, you're taking everything that you already have and all your resources, and you're basically saying, I'm gonna sustain this and make it the best that it can be. Like, what is
Yes.
the best
Yes.
possible form I can make out of everything that I already have? And
Yes.
that's fucking perfect for this energy, actually. Like, that is how we should all be looking at manifestation right now.
Okay. Cool.
And also, there was something else you said in that I was gonna pick out too. If this keeps happening.
The new moon, or was it
Oh,
about?
that's it. Yep, that's
Okay.
it. So like you said, also getting specific, more specific on the new moons. Um, I love that too. I usually always still kind of keep it a little general. So like just in the sense that like I try to go off of like the energy that's at play, right? So like for instance, this coming new
Oh,
moon will be in Gemini. So I would think about things like, oh, I want to communicate more effectively
yeah.
about this, or I want to think about that, or I want to learn about this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how I
Yep.
kind of get more specific with the moons rather than before I was very like, but then again, this is like everybody's different because I feel like a lot of people will just think about their life and be like, well, this is what's going on in my life right now, and I would really like to manifest $200. And so they'll write that down.
Mhm.
And I think that works perfectly for some
Yeah.
people. It just never worked for me. But also, I'm a reflector, right? Like I live with the moon. So I've just noticed that I have more luck when I like
Mm.
do it that way.
And I guess the Taurus in me, I have more luck when like I do have the long game always in mind, but I can like wish for little pieces in
Yeah,
that
that
long
is what
game.
you do. And I
Mhm.
think that works like out for you, you know?
Yes, it does.
Which just goes into what we've been saying a lot on this podcast too. Like everybody's going to have their own way of doing it. So don't fall for these like gurus or spiritual advisors that guarantee you that their
Oh
way is
God,
like the
yeah.
only way.
Yeah. This is how you manifest exactly.
Because that really fucked me up a lot,
Me
like
too.
for the longest time.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Yeah.
found out for me that it has a lot to do with like candle. And I don't know if it's because of like maybe my Aries moon or maybe it's something with Taurus or whatever. But like if I like carve in a candle and I do an actual ritual every single day where I light that candle, I imagine myself in that space, like shit really manifests. Like
Ooh.
good, awesome shit.
I'm really happy you said that too, because that really goes into the witchcraft thing as well. Like I feel like there's a lot of like like I remember when I first like when it like baby witches, right? And you
Yeah.
kind of like get these spell books and you're like, oh, I have to follow this to a T and I have to follow all these rules. And then you'll get on like social media and all these people will come at you if you're not doing it exactly right and this, that, and the other. But like for me personally, and I think from what you just said as well, like when I have figured out how to just be in flow with it and just do things how I feel intuitively called to do it and without following some kind of other thing, just doing what I feel like I should do. And maybe I'll get some tips, you know, like I'll know that basil is good for this, or I'll
Yeah.
know that this
Just
is good
add
for
it to
that.
your life here and there, whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then I
Hmm.
just do it how I feel like doing it,
Hmm.
and that just I don't know, like I think that's so fucking important for the
Be
energy right now
open.
too.
Oh,
Being
Gemini,
open and
be
being
open.
authentic. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. So yes, Tuesday,
So
Wednesday,
Taurus energy is going to be the dark moon.
yes.
Okay.
I mean, I would say that it's kind of a little bit I always say the sign before the sign of the new
Yeah.
moon can be the dark moon phase, but
Yeah.
also keep in mind that the new moon is happening at the end of Gemini. So
Oh, so more Gemini.
I
in
would
that
say
dark
like a
moon.
wash between two, but
Okay.
I don't know because I don't want to say, hey, let's use the Gemini moon as the dark moon when it's also going to be the new
The
moon
new
because
moon. Yeah.
yeah, I don't like that. So that's why I did it that way.
Okay, I get it. Yeah.
Um okay, so then Thursday, June 15th. So the moon is still in Taurus, but also on this day is when Saturn starts its sextile to Jupiter and square to Mercury. So Saturn in Pisces, making a positive aspect to Jupiter and Taurus, but then also making a square to Mercury in Gemini. So I think the big thing here is back to what we've already said about your long-term vision and your authenticity, and not like the square part is like delusions, and the square part is also could be just what we just said. That whole you have to do things in a certain way. Like, no, you don't. You can do them however you want to do them.
Okay.
That's what's strongly popping up in my head there. Do you have anything to add to that?
No.
I think that's literally what we were just talking about. Because
Yeah.
like Saturn sextile to Jupiter is like Jupiter in Taurus manifesting these things, these material things. And Saturn's helping by adding some like intuition and spiritual help with that. Just don't get tripped up by don't get tripped up by limiting beliefs, these thoughts that
Yes.
happen in your head, right? Of like, oh, yeah, like, oh, I have to do it this way, or oh, this is everybody's gonna judge me, or those kinds of thoughts that can come up.
Yeah. Very mutable. Flow with it. Let go, let flow.
Yes. Ooh, yeah. Like recognize the thought coming in and then, evaluate that thought. Does it fit? Does it fit with your long-term vision? Does it fit with your authenticity? If not, then let it go. Okay, so Friday, June 16th, then the moon finally enters Gemini, and that's all that I wrote on this date as well. So at that point, we might get a little overwhelmed by emotions. Or we could also have emotions that help guide us into just the right place that we need to be.
It's
I
just a
think that's all I
lot
got
of
to say about
Gemini
that.
energy. I guess I'm feeling on Friday is that like it's a lot of Gemini energy. It's going to feel, I feel, social, like go do something, go get out, go hang out with people. Like, yes, but be aware that people are. I feel like it's just people are going to talk, and it's who you're okay. So it is all back to that. It's going to go right back to like, okay, if you're going to be hanging out with people that are talking crap and you're not comfortable and you're not going to want to be hanging out with these people. So, who do you feel comfortable talking around? Who do you want to be hanging around? Who is that person or people or group or whatever that you can, like you just said, yeah, be able to talk to yourself, talk about whatever, authentic.
Yes. Sometimes it's like I think of it as like an itch. I get this itch to be social. I think I'm very
Same.
much like an ambivert or whatever, where I'm like both. So I'll get that itch where I need to socialize. And if I go out there and socialize and all that I get to talk about is the weather or fucking politics or like, yeah, whatever, then I come home and that itch is still fucking there. Like that did not scratch that itch, right? So like, but if I go out there to socialize and I get to just have these deep conversations and say what's on my mind and vent about my life, and like the other person does the same thing and I get to ask questions and like I get to explore them and everything, then I'm satisfied by the end of that social interaction, and I can go back into my hermit mode and re come out.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't remember what it was. Did I say that? Hang on. I just like saw a meme. I think I might have sent it to my sister. Let me see real quick. No. God damn it. Did I say that? No. Good story, Claire. Sorry. It was all about like how introverts, when they go out and they have to talk like small talk, it feels like I can't remember the analogy, but it's almost like I'm just gonna say like going through a wood chipper. Like it feels fucking painful. I like I can't. Oh God, I hate it so much, and the awkwardness and yeah.
Yeah, I
So
feel drained after that, like
yeah,
completely drained.
yeah. So that's gonna be Friday. So kind of be aware of that. Like pick and choose what you want to do. Do what feels authentic, or you could be authentic. Yeah. Okay. Anything else for Friday?
And go where people see you, you know?
Oh, thank you for saying that. Okay, keep going.
My Chiron's a Leo, by the way. So like I just get
Oh,
that the like, you know, wounded side of Leo a lot. Like I feel that. So it's like I can kind of gauge right now of like telling other people like what doesn't feel good about that Leo energy, right? It's like that not being seen and feeling invisible kind of that just is like a good gauge for people to be like this isn't where I belong. And also to keep in mind that your environment and the people that you're around have a lot to do with your manifesting power as well.
and my Chiron's in Gemini, and I realized that communication is so important. And like, I have, I don't know what I want to say right now is boring, stupid, uh, people you don't want to be talking to, small talk, whatever. All of that is not useful communication and
Wasted.
wasted energy, wasted whatever. Yeah. And there's like something that wants to come out that's saying like with the opportunity to always be hurt because people are just shitting out of their mouth and they don't think about what they talk about. So that's the main wounded Gemini energy is that people,
Ooh.
you know.
I like what you just said because it's like people take words for granted, you
Mm.
know, when words have a lot of power and we take that for granted. And you're absolutely right. That wasted communication, like holy shit. I think it's like if you are able to so easily waste words, then of course you're gonna end up hurting someone because you're not realizing the importance
Yep.
of your words.
Yep.
Perfect. Fucking perfect. So yeah, that's going to be a good thing. And I like that also we did this because remember we just talked about that dark moon and how we didn't want it to be in Gemini, but I feel like what we just said could
That
be a
is
good way
pretty
to get some
darky.
shit out of the
Yeah.
way before the new moon hits. So we're going to be thinking on Friday about like wasted words, wasted communication, shit like that, and then that will help us set our intentions on Saturday for how we do want to, yeah, and how we do want to communicate. So Saturday also to start off, Venus is going to be making a sextile with Mercury, which is beautiful to happen before this new moon in Gemini. And also keep in mind that Mercury is in its home sign in Gemini as well, so that's amplifying Mercury. And I think that just goes back to that authentic communication, right? It's another little like, hey, you're going to have a lot of good luck if you are being really real in your relationships in the way that you talk with to people in your life. And then the new moon happens at about 11 p.m. And also just to shout out too, I'm going to be doing a workshop that day at Wild Yoga. So if you're interested in
in
going to
Lincoln.
that, then yeah, see it all. And the
Wait, no,
actual
say you're doing tarot and what like
Oh, no, no, no. So it's just like a workshop basically. So we will be doing yoga meditation for the new moon in Gemini, and then I will be leading everyone through like an astrology guided workshop, and then we will all set our intentions and go on about our
cool.
way. So Yeah. So we
Yeah.
started this on the new moon in Aries, and we're kind of just, so that's what's cool about it too, is like if you get in on it now, you're still like kind of at the
Really
more beginning
early. Yeah.
stages. Yeah. And so it's like kind of cool. Maybe you get to live this whole year out like
Hmm.
living with the moon. So, and see the benefits of that, because there's so many fucking benefits to
Yep.
that.
Cool.
Okay, but this new moon is going to be making a square to Neptune, like as it's
Whoa.
happening. So,
Delusion Central getting like it's
yeah.
either like it's pointing out the delusions, like mouth because it's Gemini, or delusions are
Oh,
happening.
so this just came to me, and I got chills. So I think that
Yeah.
this is okay. So I want to say that the delusion is that you think that you're in control, and the truth is that you are guided and you are
Let go,
supported
let
and
flow.
you are, yeah, exactly, that you need to fully surrender to
Yeah.
be.
The
And also,
universe
holy shit,
or
that's like
whatever.
literally being a channel, right? Like
Yeah.
communication, thinking
Hmm.
in communication with Gemini, and that spiritual of, I mean, fucking Neptune in Pisces.
Hmm.
Like that's double fucking Pisces Neptune energy right there.
There's a part of me that always likes to talk about when it comes to Neptune being in Pisces, where your dreams can be manifested. Because it's in its home sign. This is the dream planet, the delusion. So like actual like sleeping dreams need to be paid attention to in this time. Like whenever Neptune comes up, you need to be paying attention to stuff, because that could be little nuggets that lead you to what your subconscious wants you to be leading you to, like what you've been asking for, your dream, like all that. And then Taurus is still over here, like this is a lot of manifesting power right now.
It is. And I like that, mutable squares mutable because they both have different ideas of going with the flow. And I feel like Gemini goes with the flow by saying, like, they'll figure it out, like I'll learn more and I'll figure it out and I'll figure it out and I'll figure it out. And that's why there's a square happening, because Pisces is like, no, you're not going to fucking figure it out. Like we do that. Like this isn't up to you to figure out.
Oh, really surrender. So do a guided meditation for surrender, do some rituals for surrender. I wish I had my like witch book in here. I wonder what it says about this moon. This is cool. Hmm.
So also too, I wrote down here too that in human design, because I always go over that, it's happening in gate 12, line 5. So apparently that's also exalted. So that's another good thing. Like that
Okay.
particular placement in that gate and that line is a good thing. And this is the gate of the channel. Not even kidding
Whoa.
you. And I also opened it up to this page too. So like the where is it? It says to know that your voice is an expression of transformation and a vehicle for divine insight. The words you speak, the insights and creativity you share have the power to change others and the world. This energy is so powerful that people have to be ready to receive it. When you are articulate, then the timing is correct. If you struggle to find the words, have the courage to wait until it feels more aligned. A powerful ability to craft language and creative expression that changes people's perceptions. Holy shit. So yeah, this is back to like that. If you're not in these authentically aligned places and you're trying to communicate,
You're not gonna be
you're
able
not
to.
going to get
Yeah.
there. Yeah. So it's like if and that surrendering aspect to it all too is like, if you're in a place where you haven't quite cultivated the right environment to be able to speak up, that could be where you are you're surrendering. You're like, listen,
Yeah.
I obviously haven't figured this out. All my friends are shit. My family fucking sucks. Like, like if you're in that spot in your life, then you can kind of just be like, you know what? This is where I'm letting go. I don't fucking know. Like, help guide me to the right people, the right places, the right time.
Oh, yeah, that feels good. That's a lot though.
And also too, where Neptune, where it's making that square, Neptune in human design, where it's at right now, is all about like the pitfall of that is like if you're being impatient and leaping before you know how the story plays out. So that could be like all of the shit that you've already been working on for some time right now could be the little thing that you hold on to that you kind of like. So like, how am I trying to say this? So like, let's say like if my goal is to do this job, then that could be my little thing that I hold on to. Like that's the thing I'm going to sustain and I'm not going to give up on because I still need to see how this plays out, right? But like if there's certain relationships in my life that make me feel like I need to quit doing what I'm doing, that's more of the stuff that I need to be adaptable and change on. Like, hey, no relationship, or hey, I need this boundary or whatever, because I'm kind of focusing in on this thing that I'm manifesting, essentially.
Yeah, you really got to figure out what feels right.
Don't allow other people limiting beliefs and delusions to knock you off of your game that you've already been working on, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also too, line 5 is about expressing yourself with care and consideration to others too. So that goes back to even what this said about how your word. Ooh, there we go. The words having power. That extra right now and into this weekend. Your words have a lot of fucking
Yay,
power.
Father's Day.
Oh, wow. That's fun.
Yeah. So be careful with that. But it could be totally good. Like maybe you'll have good conversations. Maybe they will be deep conversations. Maybe you'll get somewhere because the openness that should be happening. And
Yeah, and
so,
like I said, you have the power to really shift someone's perspective if you're speaking from a very aligned, authentic, channeled type of way.
yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, and then yeah, Sunday, the moon will go into Cancer. And so I wrote here for that, it's like then we're getting into how are we going to nurture the intentions that we set.
Good. So Father's Day will be like, yes, it's really going to be like love, a lot of love feel, because there's the Leo, there's the Cancer, and then we're going to be able to speak it perfectly. Like, yeah. So keep the love in your juju and it will hopefully,
The only thing with that square too that I can say to watch out for is like if you are speaking your truth to someone, I think sometimes we get delusional when we speak from a place of emotion, and I think that that's going to be going on a lot with everything surrounding this Mercury and Gemini. So it could be like let's say you go to talk to a friend and you're like, I feel this way about blah 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 blah, and then they kind of just have this like it emotionally will trigger them possibly, right? And then they might go like, you are such a bad friend, like you might get that kind of emotional reaction from them. But that is that square. That's like saying like, hey, that's an emotion, that's not truth, that's not necessarily truth, but their emotion, I want to kind of retract that because their emotion is true, but like the emotion is true, but emotion shouldn't necessarily rule the direction of where you're going. Like they should be validated, but they shouldn't like rule you, they shouldn't. So just keep that in mind, because if like let's say somebody kind of projects that shit onto you, again, letting it knock you off your game. Like maybe you go like, oh fuck, that really made me feel guilty, so maybe I should do things this way. And it's like, no, don't do that. Watch out for that.
Back to what you said, like that person is making me feel guilty. Look at that relationship. Is this something that I need? Because that doesn't fucking feel good,
Right.
So yeah.
And also don't let it throw you off your game of what you're communicating to them in the first place. Like follow that through too. Get it out, Yeah. Whether they want to hear it or not. So I think that that's the thing, is like, speak your truth, be considerate that you might make the other person feel some type of way, but don't let that stop you from speaking your truth.
Woo! All right. Godspeed. Good luck, everybody. Okay. Damn it. Are we good for tarot now?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm using all new decks. Super excited about it. The Modern Witch Tarot, and we got the Ten of Swords. Like how it says everything is fine. I fucking love this. Okay, so the Ten of Swords, it indicates the result of the sword's descent into ruin, marking the completion of this cycle and the new beginning to follow. While this card does depict an end, defeat, and even a harsh change that is difficult to accept, it also signifies transformation, rebirth, realization, and wisdom gleaned from pain and loss. As a result, the mind, which was scattered and chaotic, now finally finds calm and can return to its focus and peaceful nature state once again. This card invites you to allow the difficult change or cycles, shifts that you are now witnessing. So you may see it come to a close and your mind may find ease. Wow. Cool. All
When you
right.
were saying that, I also had this whole thing real quick too that just came to me about like, let's say that somebody confronts you and they're like, 7 months ago you said blah 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 blah. Like that could be happening a lot too, right? Because we're kind of realizing these importance of words and how they've piled on. So if you said something kind of shitting out your mouth and didn't really think it was a big deal, you might get confronted of how that was a big deal to certain people.
And own it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let your pride get in the way. Say sorry.
Yes.
Okay. The next one is the awakened soul. And we got perseverance. Okay. Oh, this is a little kind of long. Our awakened soul could have given up many times in her life. She could have chosen to allow the loss of her leg to become. Oh, I didn't even. No. Oh, I didn't even notice she didn't have a leg. See, she has one of those metal legs.
Oh.
Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm glad that we're reading this. Oh, I love new decks. Oh, I love them. Okay, sorry. She could have chosen to allow the loss of her leg to become her defining story. This would have kept her stuck in the past, resentful and unable to fulfill her highest potential in this life. Instead, she is back doing what she loves, running. It has been a long road and she has taken the badger as a personal mascot as they hold the meaning and message of perseverance. Anytime she felt her recovery was too much, she envisioned herself on the open road running a true joy in her life. Though this journey she has learned that she is capable of anything and no longer lets anything hold her back from pursuing her goals. Perseverance has given our awakened soul her love for running back and has also seen her grow in ways that she didn't even anticipate. So the Perseverance card has called to you today to remind you that you have more resourcefulness and ability and potential than you may ever know. So that's why I need to be open, remember? It's
And the resourcefulness.
it's kindly asking you to stop limiting yourself because of what has happened in the past, your fears, or what other people think of you, or what you can and cannot do. Dig deep, push through the limitations that you have placed on yourself. If you have been looking for a sign to keep going, this is it. The doubt that may have started to seed is just your fear testing you, as long as it is safe for you to continue to keep going. Don't allow your current circumstances to dominate the thing in your life. It doesn't have to be what defines you or have your energy or attention. Separate yourself from the people and the situation to get some perspective. What is happening is either a challenge or an opportunity or an obstacle. You choose. Look for creative solutions and resources to move you forward. Think outside of what you have previously considered. Life is a long game. Life is a long game. Don't think small and short term.
Whoa.
So this is cool because it has a shadow meaning. It says giving up only, looking at the problem, giving your power away, feeling helpless. The affirmation with this card is I am never given anything I cannot handle. Oh, okay. Personal reflections. So this could be like a journal prompt. In what areas of my life do I need more perseverance? Good. That was good. Okay.
That was really fucking good.
Yeah. This one. Okay, and then the next one is becoming my most favoriteest deck. It's the Metaphysical Cannabis Oracle deck. And this is Yemaya. Yemaya. Okay, so hang on 1 second, because for some reason I lost my place. Let's think. Okay. Oh wait, that's not it. 90. There we go. Okay. Yemaya is the river Orisha of the Yoruba people of southwestern Nigeria. I just I watched a
Can you read
fucking
that one more time?
okay. Yemaya is the river Orisha of the Yoruba people of southwestern Nigeria. A queen, okay, here we go. A queenly mermaid whose tail is covered by a 7-layered skirt to symbolize the 7 seas, corals, crystals, tiny bells, and pearls adorn her outfit and her hair. A small cannabis wreath we saw in Agave sits in her hand, and this oracle sacred number is the number 7, and her sacred animal is the peacock. Blue and white swirl around the card, creating a calming and contouring energy around you. Yemaya is known as the mother of all living things. She aims to bring comfort and cleansing to all who encounter her. On her chest sits a cannabis leaf because she helps mortals with learning to love themselves and healing for the emotional body. The peacock represents the feet, and of all birds symbolize the traditional deception of the phoenix. Not deception, depiction. I'm so sorry. Okay, the peacock represents the feet of all birds, and it symbolizes the traditional depiction of the phoenix, the legendary bird of resurrection that rises out of its own ashes. When besides Jamala, okay, no, we don't have that. It's when this card appears, it is time to take a walk by the river and remind yourself that you too can rebuild yourself when the time comes to rise.
Ooh, hold up. Also, that's really cool because it's like take a walk by the river and rebuild yourself. Back to the beaver energy in the last card. Like that is
Badger.
literally the or
Yeah.
the badger. That's right.
Yeah.
Did it say the badger? I
It
didn't
did
think it
say
said the
badger.
beaver.
It's okay.
Okay, whatever. Fuck it. But
It's
yeah.
fine. It's okay. But it's animals. She rules animals, and that's back to the badger. Like it's all connected. But it's the whole thing is like your thoughts are finally gonna be better. It's going to get better. You can do it. You can make it through. We just don't give up right now. And we have all that we need. We are healing ourselves. Please choose to heal yourself.
Also, too, with this Leo energy, that's a lot of like inner child stuff going
Oh,
on
fuck
as
yeah.
well. And so I think too that like whenever like this because we both are life coaches, right? And we know that one of the biggest fucking things that gets in the way of people's goals are these limiting beliefs. It's not so much that you don't have everybody has more resources than they're aware of. They
Yeah.
think that things are so out of reach, but if you really sit down and like get real about these things, you realize that most of the time it's not so much that you can't do it or you don't have access to it. It's more that you're tripping yourself up
Yeah.
by worrying
You are
about what
in
other
your own
people
way.
think. Or yeah, exactly.
Wow. So maybe that's something that we need to be doing. I mean, it is new moon energy this weekend, writing down everything that we do want to come into fruition in our life. And why not like find out what's holding us back from that? Like, is this a person's belief, or how can I accomplish this? Like, I don't know, something along those lines is what it's.
So this other cool thing too. So like if it was a therapist that taught me this. If you have a problem, like you make this paper, I think with like, I think it was like, yeah, it was like this. Like kind of like that, you know, with like your little thing. And then you're like, what is the problem, right? And then down here you write like all the possible solutions for that problem, and it can be like all of the most craziest things that
So
you can
like
think
bad
of.
ones.
Yeah, like anything, like bad
Okay.
solution, just any
And good
channeling, right?
solution.
Just like letting it
Okay,
all
okay.
out of like all the possible ways you could fix this problem. And then up here, you write like, okay, out of all that bullshit, what are the ones I can actually take action on right now? And
I
then
love
down
this.
here, you write like anything that, oh, what the fuck, this needs to come to me because this is so important. Oh, any other problems, right? Because as you're writing this and you think of solutions, you're going to actually realize, oh, wait, that's not actually a solution. That's just another problem. I'll write it down here, right?
Okay. Wow.
That might be a good
That
exercise.
is a very good. Yes. Cool. So this week feels okay. It feels like it's going to be obviously a lot, but like we're all here. We're all doing it. This is just the guidance that we're giving you for this week. So let go, surrender, really pay attention to your thoughts, really pay attention to how people are in your way or how you're feeling around certain things and people and jobs and money and blah blah blah. Think of it all, because we've got a fucking new moon this weekend, and you want to be writing down everything that you want to manifest. You want to put in your God boxes, whatever you do for your new moon rituals. Make sure you go to Erika's fucking workshop in Lincoln, Nebraska at Wild Root Yoga. Yeah, it's gonna be a good time. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Erika's
I love it.
message.
I love this week.
Yeah, this is going to be a good one. Do you have anything else to say?
I don't think so. I'll just like say that again, thank you for watching Sacred Rebels podcast with Claire, clairvoyant psychic medium, and myself, Erika Lane. We have our links down in the description box below. So if you would like to know more about us, see what we do, follow our socials, or book a session, the options are all down below. If you have any questions or anything that you would like us to cover in our podcast, please send us an email at sacredrebels333@gmail.com. And please consider leaving us a comment to let us know how you were doing and what you were going through and how you like us.
Resonates.
Yeah. And if it does resonate and you find this information to be valuable to your life, please share it and like and subscribe and all the things that help our channel grow, because we love doing this and we want to keep it up. And yeah, I think I don't have anything else to add. Do you?
No, not right now.
Okay. This might be the shortest one we've ever done, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good.
All right.
All right. Goodbye, everybody. Thank you.